I guess it's getting a bit late in the day here because I'm struggling a bit with my screen recorder, and I'm so sorry about all the sort of like the extra squitter and muttering and all the rest of it that comes with these videos. But I'm afraid I'm too old to change, and I'm not that slick an editor that I can chop out all my waffling and so on. So I'm afraid you're stuck with it. Remember, you have a speed up button on your YouTube, and you can turn this into at least double speed and get through it quicker. Story with Jason here is, as I explained right here and in the upcoming material in the Excel summary. It's an extraordinary situation. He has a very special way of playing. It's his money. He can do whatever the hell he wants. For me, it's a very valuable exercise because I get to work with verifiable outcomes which nobody can suggest that I have any control over, anything to do with whatsoever. Because I mean, I've had people telling me that I'm rigging the Wizard of Oz blackjack sim. I'm rigging the Baccarat Win Pro Baccarat sim. I mean, it's such incredible nonsense. Even if I had the ability, the knowledge, the talent to do it, what a bloody waste of time. I mean, come on. You know, the only way that any of this stuff makes sense is if the material that I put in front of you is absolutely accurate, absolutely honest, absolutely viable, and relevant to beating house games. And I have never suggested to anybody that they can beat games like this on a tiny, teeny weeny budget, like winning a damn lottery or something like that. You know, you have to have big bucks behind you as well as a really, really good betting strategy. I can think of one at least, and I'll let you guess what that betting strategy is. But anyway, here we go. We're looking at the nitty-gritty nasties of this horrible session that Jason walked away from, a $20,000 loser. And, you know, if he'd just been playing his left hand, his first base bets, he would have lost 3,800. But that's not how he functions, and what he does is entirely up to him. So I just wish him better luck next time, and I need him to post more blackjack pretty soon, because I can then tack it on to the end of this disaster for pattern betting. I think the loss was, I don't know, $400 or something like that compared to his 20,000. But I've got to put all these things up as they happen, as they occur, because otherwise the whole effort is pointless. I hope somebody's getting something out of this. I'm having fun, so there it goes. So, Mr. Handpay caught a $20,000 cold at Foxwoods, which is definitely one of his favorite places to play blackjack. And because I have to take the rough with the smooth, and I have to do exactly what Jason does in terms of the actual outcomes, certainly not the bets, but the outcomes, then I'm kind of stuck here with a loss, not a very big one, but a loss nonetheless, because he routinely walks away a loser, and that's something that I never do. I mean, if I decide to leave a table because I'm getting crap thrown at me, which I don't like, then I simply roll the down and the out over to the next game. The down, of course, being the amount that I'm in the hole, and the out being the full value of my next bet. And it may be that I'm in the drop zone and that the next bet will not be the full amount, but the full amount nonetheless is the out number that's in my head, or more often on a piece of paper in a notebook in my back pocket, along with my stubby free pencil from from the sports book, and all the rest. So, you know, I mean, it is frustrating, but then, you know, that's the breaks. I mean, that's what I signed up for, and I'm going to keep doing these. He needn't have bloody blahs for a bit at least, because they do show the contrast between the random way that these guys bet, tend to behave, and the way that the pattern betting would bet if it had the choice. I mean, obviously it has the choice on the bets, but there's lots of things that I mean. Jason is an eccentric player. He loves to spread out. He loves to bet three hands. Sorry about that. Yeah, as I was saying before the phone rang. One of these days I remember to turn my phone to silent. I have so many things that I forget before I get into these things. I do apologize. He loves to spread, and basically to me it's throwing money. It's throwing money away. You know, I mean, if the dealer gets 21, you've lost 2 or 3 hands. And let's see. I mean, I did make a note this time. I think there were 4 occasions when the dealer had 21 with 2 hands out there, and you know, it's just, it doesn't make sense, but it makes sense to him, and it's his money, so he can do whatever he wants. I'm just saying that to me, it doesn't make sense. I mean, especially, I suppose, because I knew a guy in Nevada. He was a nice fella. He was a successful businessman. He had a lovely family, beautiful house, big business in town, but lost the whole damn lot, lost everything. And his big thing was 3 hands of blackjack, big money each time. And I would say to him, why do you do that? You know, and he'd say, it's so exciting when the dealer busts and you get 3 bets back instead, you know, you win 3 bets instead of 1. And I said to him, but Claude, what about when the dealer gets 21 to your 3 20s, or when the dealer turns over a natural, or what, and you lose 3 times? And he said, well, I don't think about that. And I mean, he lost his business, lost his house, had to move to the other side of the country, because the only way he could keep his marriage going was if he promised that they'd move out of Nevada and away from casinos. So they went off to somewhere that didn't have casinos. You know, I mean, really, really sad. But these are the kinds of people who casinos depend on and encourage to do the most stupid things that they could possibly do, just so that the bottom line for the casino will look better. They don't care about the busted up family, the near divorce, the near bankruptcy, the any of that stuff. Anyway, I'm off on a bit of a hobby horse again there, aren't I? Which I apologize for. But anyway, yes, in fact, in this particular session, Jason lost 20,000, but I'm only showing him 3,800 down, because I only track, as I've told you many times before, I only track the left-hand bet, the first base bet in any of these multi-hand situations, because it doesn't mean anything to me to see multiple bets. I mean, yes, double downs, triple downs, whatever, you know. But starting from a single bet, that's just the way I've always done it, and it's the way I will always do it. And it's one of the reasons that I've been warming over the last year or two to baccarat, because there's no jerking around like that. I mean, you get weird stuff that you see every so often. Like, I mean, not long ago, Vegas Matt decided that he and WBG were going to place a $40,000 bet on banker, of course, on baccarat, but they were going to do 20,000 each. Well, I mean, it's a nonsense, isn't it? But anyway, their money, their choice. I get it. So anyway, this time 16,200 extra. Sort of like 5 times, 4 times more than he needed to lose was lost because Jason had to do his multi-hand bets. And no problem with that. What I don't like, of course, is the fact that he always walks away from losers, something I never do. I talked about that a moment ago before the phone rang. And I just, all I can do is just show you what I know, show you what the algorithm does in response to, sort of tight situations. It's a completely different approach. And yes, it has its dips. I mean, when the AV goes shitty, then so will pattern betting, so will algae. But I can say for one thing, absolutely for certain, and that is that next time Jason puts up a blackjack thing, I'm going to tack it on to the end of this, because this will disappear. This loss here will disappear. That's just how it is. That's how it works. So I'm going to be anxiously awaiting his next turn at the wheel. Anyway, there you go. That's it. It's a bloody mess for poor old Jason, but he really does stick his neck out, and I just whenever I see these guys playing the way that I do, I think they spend so much time and so much money in the casinos. They surely must be doing this on purpose. There must be some deal that they've got which makes it worth their while to throw money away. I mean, frankly, if he's getting tons of money from Google, I mean, is that still enough reason to throw away 20,000 at a time, 50,000 at a time? He told me in one of our exchanges not so long ago, last year sometime, that sometimes he loses more than 100,000 a day. I've never seen him lose 100,000 a day on any of these videos, and that's why I say, hey, he must be hiding stuff, because there has never ever been a video showing Mr. Handpay losing 100,000. So, that's my problem with him. But yeah, coincidentally, it just happens that after me saying for the longest time, boy, I mean, he's really kicking ass. He's unbeatable. There's a miracle worker at work here. All of a sudden, we get a 20,000 losing session, and he did announce it as having been filmed on the 7th yesterday. So it's not a question of him digging into his archives and finding a loser. It's a fact. It's just he's actually gone to bat and struck out, so to speak. I think that's a mixed metaphor, isn't it? I'm not very good on sports, I'm afraid, unless you count blackjack and baccarat and roulette and craps as sports. Some people do. Hey, if they can say that darts are a sport, then what the heck? Anyway, next time.